iPad exterior. The first iPad mini was perfectly petite, and so is the new one. The second generation iPad mini weighs 341 grams or 0.75 pounds, which is still a trend-setting weight. It's light enough to hold in one hand, and its 7.5mm 0.29 inch depth and 134.7mm 5.3 inch width, it makes it small enough for most people to grip with one hand too. Mind you, it won't be a comfortable grip, but you can hold it. The screen. The new iPad mini may have the best screen I've ever seen on the tablet. It has the same 2048 by 1536 pixel screen as a full-size iPad Air, but its screen is 2 inches smaller, making everything that much sharper. This is the screen I wished I had a year ago, and I am glad Apple finally included it. The screen gets plenty bright too. There are no complaints to make about the screen. Performance. Like the iPad Air, the other advancement here is in the processing power. Apple managed to pack in the new 64-bit A7 processor and special M7 motion processor that it debuted on the iPhone 5s in September. This won't mean much to you if you aren't a heavy gamer or use a lot of complex apps, but in my experience, the iPad mini 2, like the Air, is a lot snappier than other iPads when it runs iOS 7. I don't know if it's just me or the smaller screen, but everything on the iPad mini 2 feels a lot smoother than on the iPad Air. I've been playing a lot of Dead Trigger 2 and Rio Racing 3 lately. They look gorgeous and run smoothly. I think the iPad mini may usher in a new wave of games for the iPad because it's so comfortable to hold for gaming. Specs. It has a 64-bit 1.3 GHz dual-core processor, 0.1 GHz slower than the Air, 1 GB of RAM, a 9.7-inch 2048 by 1536 pixel screen, 16 through 128 GB of built-in storage depending on what you want to buy, a 5 megapixel rear camera with an f2.4 aperture, and a 1.2 megapixel front camera. I performed a Geekbench 3 benchmark test, and the Mini with Retina got a 1382 single score and a 2529 multi-core score. For comparison, the new iPad Air got a 1415 single core score and a 2631 multi-core score. These are just numbers, but it's clear that both the iPad mini Retina and the iPad Air are light years ahead of older iPads. The iPad 4 got a single of 754 and a multi of 1419 in this test, and we performed the benchmark on the iPad 3 and it only scored a single of 270 and a multi of 340. Last year's iPad mini only got 25.1 and 463. Battery. No advancements have been made in the area of battery life, but despite the new Retina screen and faster processor, the iPad mini 2 still gets the 10 hours iPads have always gotten. I did notice much faster battery drain when I watched Hulu videos and played Rio Racing 3 though. This is typical, but the new screen certainly isn't positively impacting the screen. So what about the bad stuff? Most everything about the iPad mini Retina is an improvement from previous models, but I do have a couple complaints. The rear camera is the same. The new iPad mini has the exact same camera from the previous generation, so far as I can tell, and I still notice no improvements to the camera outside of the new iOS app. It cannot do the burst shots as fast as the iPhone 5s, and the autofocus is much slower than the new iPhone. There isn't anything to complain about here, but no real advancements have been made. And there are no fingerprint sensor. The conclusion. The iPad mini 2 is my favorite tablet that I have owned, and I have owned many tablets including the iPad Air and Nexus 10. The price is steep at $400 plus tax, which is more expensive than the Nexus 7. And the rear camera is still the same, but who takes professional photos with the tablet anyways? The camera is only there to show off pictures to your family and friends. I think you should buy it for sure, but if you're on a budget, just go with the Nexus 7. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will be doing more reviews, including the Xbox One.